It has been a long time, but hi all my beanie weenies, and hopefully welcome back to my channel for another new exciting episode of The Sims 4 The Traitors. And we are back in the castle once again as some of our Sims are entering the breakfast room and are about to find out who got murdered. Eva, Grace, Eric, and Thorn are the first four to enter the breakfast room, and it looks as though Thorn is first up to start this chocolate fountain, which I'm sure everyone is going to enjoy, or at least the Sims that are still alive. Now, I will take this time to say, of course, I've been watching the new season of The Traitors. Now, right now, I'm only watching the US season, as it has so many reality TV stars that I just love. I love that about the US ones. However, I'm hearing good things about the UK season, so let me know if I should get into it down below. And the next three Sims to enter the breakfast room alive and well are Leah, Jeb, and Thee. And of course, Thee has to go ahead and contaminate the chocolate fountain by sticking her bare hands inside of it. Pretty disgusting. It's like almost excusable with the fruit punch. Not really, but I feel like more excusable than the chocolate. But of course, last but not least, of course, late as always is Salem, taking his sweet time getting in here. I originally sent another 4 in here, and of course, he just takes forever. I gotta say, I really like having little traits that really make a Sim unique. However, the lazy one has to be so annoying when it comes down to these shows that I'm making, because they just, they're not with everyone. I have to just sit there and wait for Salem to finally enter. It's kind of frustrating. But we see that Eric and Thee seem to be the only ones really talking here in the breakfast room, and they seem to be having a good time. Maybe they're theorizing who is going to be the next ones to enter. And it looks as though we have Arnessa, Lily, Ian, and Gunther. And now is the time where the murder is going to be revealed as our last group of Sims enter the breakfast room. And they consist of Jess, Dawn, and Sienna. And of course, I myself, Hotdogs, have to make my own breakfast entrance as I announce to the Sims that Mumi has been murdered. Let's go ahead and look back and see just what happened. After returning to the challenge area and completing some puzzles on her own, she is soon confronted by our 3 traitors. However, Mumi fights back. She is not going to be murdered easily. And I always find it kind of funny when this happens, because it's like, no matter how hard I try, even after this incident, she will not die. She does not want to be murdered. She's not taking it. And unfortunately, she even goes ahead and tries her own hand at murdering and tries to murder another traitor after she gets almost shot at. And I will say I'm obviously going to be resetting all of this. We're not going to be losing a traitor tonight. Eventually, I had to get Mumi to do it herself because everyone else was just failing. And also, this is very reminiscent of my RuPaul's Drag Race series. Weirdly. If you don't know about that, make sure you go ahead and look back at that. It was an all-winner season, and things get Pretty crazy. But with that, Megumi is the next person to leave the castle and is following quickly behind her husband. So I'm glad that the two of them are reunited. However, you guys only have a couple hours until you all reunite once again at the round table, where you will vote for who you think is a traitor. So go ahead, get to bonding, get to speculating, and get to figuring out just who the murderers are among you. And it looks as though Leah's strategy for getting to know her housemates is to woohoo them. And her and Jeb soon sneak off to get a little action. And it looks as though Salem isn't too happy about it, as after seeing that, he quickly discovers that he is jealous. Suddenly though, not only does Grace pee herself in the middle of the breakfast room, but instead of woohooing, Jeb and Leah get into a fist fight and then woohoo. I guess that's some kind of foreplay for them. However, Grace is not the only one to pee herself this morning, as Arnessa soon joins the club. I gotta say, there's about 6, 7 toilets in this castle. There's quite a bit, and yet still they can't manage to get to them. In the living room, we see that Jess and Eric are bonding over the pool table. However, not the kind of bonding that Leah and Jeb are doing. This is strictly, friendly. For now.
Darfy.
Urazap?
In a prib.
Suna nibnub.
Shiniba Mitzal. Wadiza. Deroy.
Peru. Ernarb. Arabeth.
Hooji.
Ish the quiz.
Larsen.
However, it looks as though Jeb and Leah have made their way upstairs to continue their bonding, and I mean, would it be my channel if I didn't give you a little sneak peek of what was going down in there? But while they're doing that, Grace is taking some time to herself in one of the bathrooms, where she sits and talks to herself in the mirror. Maybe she's trying to practice some charisma points in order to fool everyone that she's a traitor. Or maybe everyone's just stressing her out. That's probably the case, as we see outside by the little fishing lake. Sienna is out there catching some fish, relaxing by herself. We don't have the horse anymore for her to go to because the horse was annoying. Didn't really like him. Honestly, controversial opinion, I kind of hate all the pets in The Sims. They're all really annoying. So instead of playing with the horse, she's now able to fish alone. But I would kind of think that that is suspicious. She's always trying to be by herself. She's never bonding with anyone. Is that because she has guilt for murdering people? I don't know. But it is going to be tricky for her at the round table if she doesn't start forming relationships. Meanwhile, upstairs in the turret, we see that Arnessa was trying to take a nap in the attic, but Thorn and Eric had other plans as they put on some vinyls, open some wine, and start partying without a care in the world that she was asleep. Arnessa obviously wakes up and is not happy about it. She does have to just go ahead and sit down on the other bench instead of just standing there like a normal person, but she soon starts arguing with both of them. And I gotta say, picking a fight is not the best thing to do before a roundtable vote.
Shelky.
And I love this moment when Thorn stops dancing, turns to her, and the argument definitely gets a lot more serious.
Debawis. Rapasa Maslima. Donkey.
Arnessa does eventually storm off. However, she definitely has upset Eric and Thorn, and the party seems to be over. And the party's over for a lot of our Sims in the castle right now. We see that Jess is playing some games by herself, Gunther is walking around drinking. However, a lot of our Sims are taking little cat naps. We see Salem over there on the sofa. We have Ian on a sofa in the hallway, a few people scattered in some of the bedrooms, and I mean, I'm sure Leah and Jeb have worn themselves out a bit too. And it's kind of sad because Gunther walks from room to room trying to find someone to drink and talk to, but eventually just sits and drinks by himself in his bedroom. However, this Eric, Thorne, Arnessa argument is not over. They actually followed her into one of the bathrooms in the tower. It's like a really small bathroom. And they corner her in there and continue arguing with her. And I would feel so uncomfortable if I was Arnessa. Not only did these two punks wake me up while I was trying to sleep, they soon become rude to me and corner me in a bathroom. No thanks. Like, this is like an elderly woman you're arguing with. We'll have to see how this affects the roundtable vote coming up shortly.
Cow Nim Sabao, Numiv. May pick Yavara. Amkahab. Huh? Slew for Weebus? Weebus? Huh?
And you know what? Why don't we just go ahead and start this roundtable vote? I gotta say, this is my favorite part of doing this show. I love a good murder, obviously, but there's something so fun and juicy about that roundtable vote and seeing exactly who our Sims pick to be eliminated. So we're gonna gather all of our Sims together and see exactly who they vote for. But of course, I had to mess this up by, normally I keep that room locked, and I forgot to unlock it. So they have to take a little bit of a longer journey to get there as they have to go outside and around, but eventually we do get back to the table. Hello everyone, and welcome back to the roundtable, where you will have your third vote of the series. Now, last time you were able to get out a traitor. We'll have to see if you're able to do it again. One by one, all of you will vote for who you get along with the least, and the person with the most votes will be eliminated, and hopefully for you, they're a traitor. First up, why don't we go ahead and start with Don. Of course, like always, we're going to look at his relationship statuses and see who he's going to vote for. And Don has voted for Gunther, giving him his first point. And next up to vote is going to be Thee. And Thee has voted for Eva. That's one vote Gunther, one vote Eva, and next up to vote is Gunther himself. Let's see if he returns the favor to Don. And Gunther has voted for Grace, giving her her first point. We have one vote for Grace, Gunther, and Eva, with Eva being the next one to vote. And Eva has also voted for Grace, giving Grace her second point. And next up is our lazy boy Salem's turn to vote. Let's hope he doesn't take his sweet time. And Salem has also voted for Grace, giving Grace her third point. Next up to vote is Arnessa. And after that argument today, it is no surprise that Arnessa has voted for Thorn, giving him his first point tonight. And Ian is next up to vote. And Ian has also voted for Grace, securing her spot in the lead so far. Next up to vote is Lily. Lily has joined Arnessa's thought process and has also voted for Thorn, giving him his second vote. Next up is Sienna. And Sienna has voted for Leah, giving Leah her first point tonight. Next up to vote is Jess, who surprisingly hasn't been taken over by that Strangerville virus just yet. Usually, she already is by the time she gets to the round table. However, based off that, Jess has also voted for Thorn, giving him his third vote. Next up is Leah. Now this really is a twist, because after fistfighting him, after woohooing him, Leah has finally decided to actually vote for Jeb tonight as well, to leave. And just in time for Jess to turn into her Strangerville self. Yeah, I thought that was coming. However, it is Jeb's turn to vote. Let's see if he returns the favor. And he does indeed, giving Leah a second vote. And I'm curious if, even though they voted for each other, if they stay in the house, are they still gonna bang? Pretty curious about that. Next up to vote is Grace, however, who has received a lot of votes tonight. I'm curious who she is gonna vote for, but based off of everything, she has casted another vote for Gunther. Next up is Eric. And again, after that argument today, it's no real surprise that Eric has voted for Arnessa. Let's see if Thorn feels the same way. And of course he does, giving Arnessa her second vote tonight. However, now that everyone has voted, we do have a leader, and unfortunately, Grace, you have received the most votes to be evicted. Please come up to the front, stand in the truth circle, and reveal to everyone if you are a traitor or a faithful. Yep, that's right. Unfortunately, Grace was a faithful, and that is another one leaving the castle. But I mean, hey, has anyone ever gotten traitors back to back at a round table? No. You're gonna lose some along the way, but Grace isn't taking this news kindly, and she hasn't really used her witchy powers since being in the castle, but she's gonna make sure she does before she leaves. And she casts a fire spell on a dresser and lights the place ablaze before giggling and laughing as she leaves the front door. Wow, that ends Grace's time here in the castle. What did you think about Grace? What do you think about her getting voted out? What do you think about her catching the place on fire? Let me know down below in the comments. And of course, you can download her and the slot over on the Sims 4 gallery at Hotdogs Sims. Make sure you go ahead and check that out. I'm sorry it's been so long, but we are officially back, and I'll see you guys soon for the next episode. Bye!